MySpace is back. Aren't you excited about that? MySpace, out of all things, another app that I'm not going to use. It's amazing.
Did MySpace leave? I mean, it left, but like, how many times has MySpace tried to come back now? Did they come back with Justin Timberlake one time?
Yeah, I think this is their second time coming back. It's like space something.
You gotta let that go, dog. Like Instagram is almost on its way out of here. Like
Instagram is dying.
Instagram's done. So Instagram about to go. Like Facebook is the number one social networking app.
I'm sorry, I don't know what Facebook is. What is that?
But that's what I'm saying. Facebook numbers wise is the number one social networking app on the planet. And
it's called Meta.
Nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about Facebook except for your aunt that's trying to plan something for the church. Like, about it. Like, But I mean, if MySpace hits a little, maybe they'll bring back Tumblr. Or
maybe they'll bring back Tumblr.
You know what I'm saying?
TikTok is killing the streets.
Yeah, TikTok. I mean, first of all, the fact that everybody tried to copy off it and did a horrible job.
Yeah.
And now everybody's like, yeah, we're making up our own TikTok. I'm like, no, you're not.
Nah.
And if you've used TikTok, that thing is incredible. Like, the algorithm is incredible. Like, whatever you're, this is going to sound like an ad, but whatever you're into, it is great. It just shows you that. So I don't even be knowing what be going on in other people's circles because I'm like, oh, well, my TikTok only showed me something I was interested in.
Perfect, though, because sometimes that's what you want to see on, like, Instagram. They'd be suggesting everything. I'd be like, I don't want to see this. I just want to see this. But, Odell Beckham Jr.
What about him, man? I ain't
the Rams. For 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dog, I don't care about nobody on a sports team unless you're on my fantasy team or the Texans. So
we're terrible.
No, I'm sorry. I can't. I know most of the Wu-Tang members' middle names, but I mean that's not true, but it kind of is. But that filled up that replaced all my sports knowledge. Like I'll be like, all right, cool. Like you'd be like, oh, I know such and such when they played in college. I was like, I went to a HBCU, dog. I don't care.
Wow.
Nah, I'm like, I'm bad. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, it is what it is. Like, I care when they go pro. And if they're a pro that, I'm interested in. Otherwise, I'm good.
Otherwise, you're good with it. You went to an HBCU, sir. You don't even
I went to two of them. And they weren't known for their sports teams.
Not at all. Are you even black and ugly as ever? I stay Houston down to my socks. Oh, no one know it's them again. It's them boys from In My Humble Opinion. It's In My Humble Opinion podcast once again. And welcome to another episode where the opinions aren't humbled and the words, they're not jumbled. I'm your host, Avery Like a Very Nice Guy, also known as Avery Zadius on Instagram and on Twitter. Thanking you for taking out your time and checking us out once again. And also joined by your host, my brother, Just Devon, ladies and gentlemen, Just Devon. And
That's me.
Yes. You could find him at Just Devon on Twitter and Dr. Douglas on all other platforms like IG. And you could also find us at My Humble O on everything. And as well as you can not forget that we're on all digital service platforms and on YouTube as well, because I like to watch myself on YouTube a lot. It makes me happy. Now, if you're not familiar with what we do here, we like to put a spotlight on all these guests, especially, the guests specifically, spotlight on people from Houston who are out here doing their thing. And this one gentleman that we have here is a returning guest, all right? I speak to him pretty often. He's a pretty good dude, I have to admit. A man who has a chip on his shoulder and nothing to prove, but everything to gain, all right? With his album, Best You Knew, streaming now with features from Killer Calleon, Ronnie Spencer, J-Dog, Mr. Hood Figure, you got to check him out, and Killer Mike, to name a few. Entrepreneur, designer with his Good Business clothing line, father and man, Scooby, aka Scooyunda of the Grit Boys. Yay.
Yes, sir. We in the building.
What's going on, man?
What it do, man? What's up, man?
Man,
Y'all back.
the last time we talked to you, this is before the album had dropped.
Mhm.
What was your, you know what? I think the most noticeable thing about this album coming out, and we're gonna get right into it, because if you want to know the history of this man, go back and look at our original interview. We're gonna talk about some more stuff that I'm sure you want to flesh out, because we didn't have nearly enough time to go through his whole history and the history of the Grit Boys. But talking about just the solo album that you just dropped, uh,
Yeah.
one of the most noticeable things I have is it's a real, who was the producer? It's a real jazz.
Yeah.
You flowing over a lot of jazz.
Yeah.
It's a lot of jazz. And that's the thing, and it's cool. But it, for me, it was unexpected. Like when I first saw it, I was like, oh dog, this is smooth. You really you getting everything you got to say out, but it's a real smooth backdrop. So what was the thinking going into that? Were you like, yo, like this is my goal, or what was the thinking behind that? And who was the producer?
First of all, the producer, his name is Zuri, right? He's known around the Houston circles, man. My guy's he's out in LA right now. He's worked with Kanye, he's worked with Damon Dash, he's worked with Lil Baby, a lot of people, man. This guy's very talented. But how it came about is he also produces for an artist that's on one of my singles named that's Alexander Asadi. I actually manage him also, so, and he was the one that said I should manage Alex. So it's like a whole thing we've been having for a minute, and so he know his sound and my sound are like peanut butter and jelly, man. He kind of tailored those beats for me. So yeah, I had a person that I already produced 90% of the last Grit Boy album we really put together. He produced 90% of it, man. His name's Zuri, man. Follow him on Instagram.
Oh, you did a fantastic job. And the other thing too about it is, because it's jazz, and hip hop is always so interconnected to jazz. I mean, it's an offshoot of jazz, really.
Right.
It really allows you to riff. There's a lot of points where you're like playing with the beats. So you're moving off the beat and adjusting the flow, and the beat kind of catches up with the flow. And it goes back and forth almost like an instrument. Did you feel like freer rapping over the jazz beats, or like was this just changing style?
Not to cut you out. Well, like, these are things that I was able to do by myself away from being in a group, right? Because a lot of stuff we rapped on was mostly like trap. We did a lot of samples, but I have a slower flow and I wanted to rap faster. So I did make my voice an instrument and I didn't want too much going on. If you notice, I'm rapping on the softer parts of the beats, even like the one with Killer Calion. A lot of people was like, man, you should have caught the up tempo like he did. I was like, nah, I did that on purpose, man. I wanted for his flow to be on that part of the beat. And then a lot of my beats, when they send it to me, they don't be arranged in the way that I rap on them. I listen to the beat and I'm like, well, I want to rap on that part and put the hook on this part. So I might be opposite of another artist. And one of the records when I was recording, I recorded it out there in Atlanta. I seen the engineer this time again when I went back to Atlanta. And he was like, bro, when you first was rapping on the song with Killer Mike, Space, he's like, I thought you was off beat. But when I really listened to how you rapped on, he's like, man, you snapping on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I always hear a part of the beat or hear an instrument that nobody hears at first, or think you maybe should attack that part.
And I think that's what's interesting, because when you first, I would say on first listen to the album, that would be, you notice it on the Killer Mike song, the Killer Calion song, Mr. Hood Figure song. There is these points, the J Dog song, because you've got these people that rap aggressively on the beat, and then it feels like, oh, okay, he's coming off the beat, but then it works and then you're like, oh no, he's on the beat. So like it was a little different, like upon first listening, and then it really works with the jazz. Like it just works with the jazz because I was like, this sounds like, you know, like a trumpet player or a saxophone that's just riffing off of stuff.
Yeah.
How long did it take y'all to create this album?
Well, okay. I had, you know, I put out the EP, right? So I added 7 songs. So in most cases, man, I could do an album a month or 2. That's with the mixes. But I just took my time. Like I got a lot of songs. I got a lot of projects coming out. But for this one, I specifically like I didn't like have like a million songs to pick from. Like as I recorded them, like this going on there, this going on there, this going on there. So a lot of the last 7 songs, I'll probably say it took me like 2 months to put together as far as hearing who I wanted on them. And when I wrote No Glass Ceilings, I was like, I got to get J-Dog. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man. And then so when I sent it and I heard what he sent back, I like arranged it where he's saying a little, the actual talking in the beginning of him, that's actually his part of his verse when the beat went off. I just put it in the beginning because it was so dope what he was saying. The real definition of rich. See, I always never had to see the dollar, but they felt the power. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't talking about no money. He's talking about the power makes us rich. So, you know, I just really like that part, man. And I wanted every artist that I put on there from Houston to shine too. You know, a lot of people, they like to be like, well, a nigga ain't gonna wreck me on this song or that song. I had none of that going on in my head. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing too is it also feels like you're an older artist, but you're also trying to establish yourself as a newer artist separated from the group. And you're also establishing yourself, separating yourself from history. There are certain things you address on this album where you talk about OGs in Houston and how you feel about them, and then stepping away from the group and all that. What is it that you want people to walk away from after hearing this album?
I want them to know, like you say, bro, I have nothing to prove, but you know, rap is a competitive sport, right? So I want to go down in history as one of the greatest lyricists to ever walk the streets of Houston, Texas. That's my ultimate goal. Like I want to be acknowledged as being not, you know, a lot of people when they are comparing people or they're making a list, they're thinking about everything else. You know what I'm saying? First, I'm sure they are, you know, statue or followers or whatever, or, you know what I'm saying? So I just want people to know that, you know, you can still be recognized by putting together a project, even though you're not, you know, super active in these areas. You know, good music will always reach the places it's supposed to go. So I just want to be known as someone that put out a quality project and represented the city in a, you know, very creative light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so what does the title Best You Knew mean to you? Why did you call it Best You Knew?
Well, after I retire, I want people that, you know, heard me from the beginning of my career, that supported me. It's like me tipping my hat to them. Like, you know, I've gotten this far, I've gotten this good, and I'm not gonna let you down. I'm the best you knew. You know what I'm saying? And how I really got that title, I was having a conversation with my daughter, man, and she asked me, was I her best friend? And I just looked at her, and I don't know why I said it. I was just like, I'm the best you knew. You know what I'm saying? I'm the best friend you ever knew. So I just ran with that. And so it's just like, it's 2 different meanings of it. Like, I'm the best you knew, and it's best that you knew that, you know what I mean, what we coming with, man. And like, I just want people to know that I like, and a lot of people have been recognizing, like, bar for bar, man, I'm actually putting my all into it. You know what I'm saying? As far as making the listener really grasp what I'm saying. You know, triple tundras. I'm doing all that on there. You know what I'm saying? You're a lyricist, you know.
Yeah, now you do you still, like, we covered this on the last interview, but do you, even with this album, do you still feel like you're overlooked lyrically?
Yeah, because I think it's a lot of political things. I mean, no, not not behind closed doors, not in a certain, like, of course they know, you know what I'm saying? Especially my peers. Um, I just think being in a group, I had to give them more than a couple projects for them to not overlook me. And another piece of it is me being more accessible and rubbing shoulders when I need to, and being an artist that had been around for so long. Sometimes I allow myself to feel like I don't have to be in these places, and sometimes it works for me, and sometimes it don't. If you see a person all day, you're not gonna really feel like they're a unicorn or something to that extent. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people respect me, for what I do. Like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh man, I'm not get like, Kanye do it a lot. You know what I'm saying? He wants praises and praises and praises, and he's already know what he is. I mean, you saying what you is, so it's not that type of situation, but I do feel like I'm overlooked as an individual artist. You know what I'm saying?
Now, yeah, that's the other thing, stepping out as an individual artist. I guess what were some of the positives and negatives about recording away from the Grit Boys and establishing yourself as this individual artist?
The negatives, I'm gonna start with the negative part first. The negative of it, I ain't really had my brothers to look over with. Neat on some of them, and even Neat tell me, man, I'm your number one fan, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's in my group, So that's the negative of it, looking over and kind of getting their opinion before I put it out to people. You know what I'm saying? And because of the way we're older now, so they're not right here. And the positive of it is I got to get more out than one verse, and then it's exciting to let the people that's around me and being seeing me see my growth, surprise them with my growth. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of exciting for them to watch it come out and anticipate what I'm gonna say. Also, you know what I'm saying? They never like call me and say, "Dang, bro, what you said about that? You talking about me?" Or, they understand that I'm the type of artist, man. I'm gonna lay it all out and do it tasteful as possible. I even had a line, I kind of, in the first song, if you really listen to the second 8 bars, I really sum up my whole I really kind of tell people, I was like, these people looking crazy, still acting like I ain't made it straight from under them hawk wing shit. I was your favorite. You know what I'm saying? Been an underground king, man. The radio never played it. Gotta remind you niggas at times became complacent. And then I said, all of my interviews, they're gonna ask me about Paul Slayton, fishing for information. Truth is never hatred. So in those bars, I talked about being, with HAWK, and I talked about people gonna continuously ask me about Paul Wall in my interviews. So I basically said, that's cool, but right now, this is what I am. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted that to be in the first song, because a lot, like, I had a friend, he was like, bro, I used to always think, you was confident about yourself because of your affiliations, because of the great things that the Grit Boys done. But after hearing the deluxe, I understand why you feel like you that dude, because you really talking about something and you on another level than the artists that we've seen come out of the city. So that's, what I'm trying to establish. Like, all that other stuff, cool, but hey, this right here is, the real deal.
And from your perception, do you feel like this album is accomplishing that? Do you feel like people are starting to view you as a separate entity from the Grit Boys? And I mean, like addressing even that first song, stepping away from out under Hawk's wings and stepping out from, not stepping away from Paul, but it's just like, yo, I'm my own entity. They
Right.
like me for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hawk liked me for a reason. Paul liked me for a reason. It's because of it. They liked us for a reason. It's because of our skill, and I'm skilled as part of this group, and now I'm doing something individual. Do you feel that fans are starting to see that now?
Yes, they are. And they're even, they're going as far as saying that they see the reinvention of the GB. So it's really not getting all the way away from it, but it's saying, hey man, it's 2021. But and I know you've seen me for 20 years, but now this is really the beginning of me, Scooyunda. You know what I'm saying? So I think I am getting the notoriety for being myself after so long of releasing material, and it's just gonna get better. I'm excited about it, to be real honest with you.
And it's interesting. I mean, I kind of wanted to ask you, not kind of want, I want to ask you how you feel about this dichotomy of being like two different types of artists. On one hand, I was listening to the radio the other day. Rod Dig is about to celebrate like the 20th, the 30th year of the release of Dirty Harriet. You've got artists that are celebrating the release of their albums when you guys were putting out y'all's first album. So theoretically, like the Grit Boys could celebrate the release of an album like right now.
Oh yeah.
So,
we just had the 15-year anniversary of
exactly.
Texas.
So you guys can celebrate the 15-year anniversary of the Grit Boys while at the same time, it's almost like you're being introduced as a brand new solo artist. And you've got both of those. One, how does that feel? And I guess what are the positives and negatives of that? Because, like I said, on one hand, it's like I've got all this history, but on the other hand, it's like I'm brand new as well, but I'm not.
Right. Well, it's a gift and a curse, because if I walk into a room with artists that's trying to even establish themselves, they can have 100,000 followers on Instagram and haven't did none of these things that I've done, right? So they're already, or whoever's the gatekeeper of that situation is looking at like, man, what are you doing here? We already seen you before. We trying to let some new people shine. You know what I'm saying? You're too big for this. I've heard that a lot. You may be too big for this. You know what I'm saying? But that's the curse of it, right? Of having all those accolades. And then the other side of it is if an artist don't know at first and then they find out, my background, the respect level raises 1,000%, because it's like, damn, this nigga ain't just talking this shit for no reason, because I'm talking that shit on this new album. So it's just more, it gives me a lot of content to display. It gives me like an advantage. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody really saying the same thing, but saying it different, but based on my area, the things I've done, some things that I'm rapping about, people haven't reached yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the positive of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm rapping about is verifiable facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all caught the line. I was like, this lady told me once that my soul glowed fluorescent. I just looked right back at her with a bold expression. Whole time I was high as a new prescription. Then I was like, it's really, then I said something like, it's cool to know that they finally found out my first video was a joint by Melina Stokes. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking shit like that. And I don't know if you ever heard of Melina Stokes. She's like a big time director. She do like all Beyonce videos. She did a film not too long ago. She does Solange videos. Her first video as a director by herself was myself, Red Handed, and Paul Wall. We shot it on the south side of Houston. And I learned a lot doing that video. It was a real video, a real set, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to throw that fact out there in this tape, you know what I'm saying, to let people know, I've touched a lot of parts of the industry and a lot of people that went on to be, very, very powerful in the business. You know what I mean? They rub shoulders with me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I mean, what is also like where you're sitting there and your producer, you just mentioned one of the directors from one of your first videos. We were talking about you've rubbed elbows with a lot of Houston talent, and for lack of a better word, I'm going to say behind the scenes Houston talent that have made it, that have made very successful careers out here in Houston. So you've watched as the city has grown. There's always going to be the criticism about, Houston's not doing enough. Houston's doing too much. Da 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 da. You got to leave the city. You don't got to leave the city. It's always a back and forth on that. From your perspective, how has it been seeing, success and failure stories from different Houston artists? And you are one of the people that have had the opportunity to actually travel outside of Houston and see other cities and their business culture and music cultures. So how would you describe the city from your perspective?
Well, first part I'm gonna touch on is the going out of town. I think some of us are comfortable hanging around here, you know what I'm saying? And it may be like a bit of an insecurity to leave the comfort zone and explore the things. And I think just some people just flat out just motherfucker, I'm Houston, I'm Texas, like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna rep this shit here, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna perform here, we gonna do shit here. And I think once and then so the other part of it is when they do see somebody like myself going outside the box. I just think some people may feel like it should be them, or you know what I mean. They should have the race relationships I have. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's crazy. At this point in my career, the person that's showing me the most love is not from Houston. You know what I'm saying? Killer Mike is showing me the most love right now, bro. Like on some stand-up nigga shit behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, whatever. And we have these same type of conversations between me and him. You know what I'm saying? Like he tells me, you gotta find the glitch, bro. You gotta link the Grit Boys, everything together and establish yourself. So and from they're outside looking in on to us that collaboration keeps the culture going. He actually said that in one of my comments one time. I was saying some shit about like how my peers, they see me out here doing my thing, and sometimes they won't acknowledge it until I see them in person. That's just the thing about Houston. Like everybody always know what you're doing, but they not gonna really show that love on the internet because they may not want you to feel like you're getting too big for your britches. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot. That's a lot dealing with me because, when I see people, they know exactly what I'm doing, but I may not even see them online or even think about them until I see them like, oh, I see you, like, damn. So I just think Houston problem is when they see somebody doing something, they feel like it should be them. And if it's not them, they're not gonna support it. That's the only thing. Like it's just like a lot of insecure jealousy shit going on, and I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's interesting too. You talk about Killer Mike, and Killer Mike is actually there are a few Houston artists that we know that Killer Mike is actually really supportive of, and he's had, I don't want to say a circular career. He's gained success in some ways that probably, I mean, we definitely would not have predicted that in the beginning of his career.
No.
No. And our careers are similar, and that's probably why, we gravitate towards each other, because he started, then he had to reinvent himself, and he was in another group, and then he was in another group. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the kind of conversations we have. Like, yo, bro, you really stood the test of time, and he's like, you have too. You know what I'm saying? And he always put me in the category with Currency. He always felt like me and him, and I actually know Currency. Like, he knows who I am. You know what I mean? Doing the Grit Boy run. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was making it come up. So we've crossed paths. So I like that idea. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do a song with Currency, or do business with Currency, because we do have a similar lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as far as my lyrical ability, it's just, I just feel like it's not that many in the city that really can compare to the shit I be talking about. The greats. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if it's anybody, I'm the closest one. You know what I'm saying? Me and a few other ones. I'm the closest one to the greatest artist in Houston, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the accolades, the money, this music, these bars. You know what I'm saying? Because a person with no talent can get some money. I want us to get back to the music, man. Like, that's what I really care about. So as long as I put my print into the Houston culture, they'll say, well, okay, shit, they had these people. This motherfucker right here, he was different.
Absolutely. Now, the other thing too is, in terms of the music, what was the thinking behind? There were 2 albums that basically came out. You had the 8 or 9 songs EP, and then it came out. It's a full album that came out. What was the thinking behind that? Because that new one that came out it changed the order of some of the songs, but then you also added like a lot of guests on there as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I introduced it as the EP, right? And so I was working it, and I was like, I love this title. I love this look that I have. I just wanted it to continue to grow. And if you didn't hear the EP, I left it on there, but I arranged it differently so it can sound different, right? Because when I added the 7 songs, it changed the dynamics of, what I was doing, right? And then, if you notice, the first song and the last song has the same hook, but it's a different beat, a different feel, right?
Yeah.
I ended it with Best You Knew, and I started it with, Daybreak for a reason. And, I wanted to tell a musical story, man. It's a lot of thought behind that, bro. Like, even No Glass Ceilings. Like, we saying No Glass Ceilings, I start off nice like this. I wish rain drops, fall. You know what I'm saying? How they gonna fall if we got glass ceilings? So you know what I'm saying? It was really planned out and really executed that way. From the cover, I wanted it to look how it sounded how it looked. Right. And then the artists that I do have on the singles, Mr. Hood Figure, Alexander Asadi, they're about to drop their EPs, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really building the team up at the same time I'm building myself up, you know what I'm saying?
And again, let's talk about the business side of it, because there's also, first of all, there are a number of guests on here that we enjoy. Like, you had they're not together anymore, but Tally, the singer, who closes out the last song. You moved it around.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, fantastic song. But you're setting up a lot of the business end, like you said, you're managing artists and you're developing it. On the business end, where is it that you're planning on taking things in terms of developing a record label and putting out talent?
Well, first of all, far as the business side, man, I do, like, I register my own publishing, man. Like, you know, a lot of people have to call and get somebody to do that. So far as the business side, I'm trying to brand the clothing and the music within the same entity. Like, I'm about to drop a good business compilation, right? So, you know, of course, I'm the CEO and the founder. And I just try to show the artists everything they're supposed to get. Like, it's artists on my album, they haven't, like, you know, done the things I've done, but you know, far as their publishing or a split on the song, I'm adding them in there. You know what I'm saying? So far as the business side, man, it's just like the rap side, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't put all the eggs in one basket. I plan it out, and you know, that's pretty much it. It's just like taking a piss, man. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what I'm supposed to get in, or like, I have 3 distribution deals, like, and they not DistroKid and TuneCore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have actual, you know, setups where I could put the project out, the artists access to the studio, the artists have performances, you know, inside of their situation. And yeah, I had a female artist for a while, but now I just kind of stepped back to just writing. And I like that part too, you know what I'm saying? I like it. And I was listening to a song I wrote for her with the visual the other day, man. That shit kind of dope. I was like, damn. I was showing it to my wife. I'm like, who this song? She's like, I don't know, it sounds good. I was like, I wrote that. She was like, damn. So it's just like, I like that. So, but sometimes, you know, when you're doing that, you know, the person that you're doing it for, they may not know exactly what you're looking for on the business side. So that's what I'm doing with artists. You know, I went through some stuff with you bring up Tally. I kind of went through some stuff with the visual. Like, her people felt like it wasn't a good look for her to do a video with me. That's what she came back and told me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I ain't talked to her since, but that, you know, I get that side, you know what I'm saying? That shit even though she's not a big artist than me, you know what I'm saying, per se, you know. So you gotta learn how to maneuver around that, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, with your history, like, do you feel there's a stigma with certain things, or is it just like, okay, well, he's an older artist, but he's trying to come back out? Is that what you think it is?
Yeah, sometimes they don't be knowing.
Yeah.
They don't know until later, you know what I'm saying? And then when later they see, you know, it's just like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying?
Because it is one of those things. I said, I really think it's interesting that you and Killer Mike gel, because y'all do have that similar. There were definitely points, you know, like for a while, people were like, "Oh, you just the dude from the whole world, like you outcast boy," you know what I mean? And then it was like,
that was it.
He kept on putting out music, and then it was like he had these different segmented fan bases. Like, the people that heard him with Outkast knew one thing, and the people that heard him on the
I Pledge Allegiance to the Grind.
Pledge Allegiance to the Grind mixtapes knew a totally different Killer Mike. And then once he gets with Adult Swim and links up with LP, it's a whole different group of people that know him and would have no clue about this other history. And then it all kind of came together at once.
Exactly.
As he's what years ago we would be like, oh, you're an aging rapper. He's at the beginning of his career. In my mind now, I'm like, nah, you know, Run the Jewels.
I mean, the white people don't push their people out of the game. That's the problem with Houston, though. When they feel like you had your turn, nigga, you had your turn. I got my artists, and that's what it be. They'll have they nigga, they kinfolk, man, let them, even though I'm making I'm painting these portraits over here, and I'm really representing the city, right? Like, you know, I just think Houston, what they do is they'll see the new artists, right? The hottest new artists, and they, oh yeah, this shit, you know what I'm saying? They going to the max. And then when he kind of fizzled down, then they gonna go to the next one. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like they want to see what you're gonna do. That's the thing I don't like about the city. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, bro, he's with me the entire time. I'm progressing back to what I'm trying to be. He's not like, oh, I'm gonna wait to school pop before I do him a feature. Nah, he see the whole thing all the way through. I feel like you guys see the you know, the direction that I'm headed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all looking in the direction. So, you know what I mean? I appreciate that, bro. So that's just the thing about that. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, Devon, go ahead. Go ahead, Devon.
well, I was also going to say too. We talked about being this veteran artist and also being a new artist, and I just wanted to ask about your lifestyle because you are very much like a family man now. You talk about it like your daughter, like, you talk about the family and things like that. Putting out things earlier with the Grip Boys, you were a younger man. Now you're older man, you're a father, you were just talking about your wife. What is it like now as opposed to being a new artist now as opposed to being a new artist when we're talking about 20 years ago when you were coming up? How does that affect your creative process in terms of what you're talking about and how you're going to get it across when you're getting ready to create the music?
All right. I used to be gone for 3, 4, 5 weeks and not answer to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference between having a family, you know what I'm saying, being married, right? But the good side of it is I do got stuff to talk about. I could talk about being in love. I could talk about, a situation I had with a woman. My wife don't really dissect my raps and like, nigga, you ain't doing that right now. Because I always flip it as another person's situation. I could talk about it in third person, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, homeboy, he ain't have shit when he ain't work. He jumped in the shit feet first with his knees hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like I can deflect it. Like I ain't struggling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, everybody have their times, but I'm just saying I'm not in the hood at grandma's house. My uncle walking back and forth smoking crack while I'm trying to get some sleep. That's not happening. So I'm not rapping about spinning. I might talk about a situation, my little homies, or something that I've been through. So I think it's better. It challenges me as an artist. It's easy to sit up and talk about, spinning the block and getting off the packs and shit. And I really did that. Like the thing about it is I probably sold more dope than 90% of the niggas that's rapping about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Out here. You know what I'm saying? To the biggest, baddest street niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the kind of dude that displays that, you know what I mean? I've done a lot of things that, could have got me a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? But
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right? How I, decipher that is I just rap about more happier things. Like I read a lot more, I read more books. It's so much shit to talk about. Back then, I didn't realize how much stuff I had to talk about. They wanted us to rap about, our struggle life, the guys that put us together. They wanted us. Back then, I thought to myself, it's times where I'd be like, I should have already been over here putting my own studio equipment together, really create my sound. But it was all for the good to be meshed in a group. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, I felt like they wrapped circles around me, both of them. Nick and I used to wrap fucking circles around me. Fast forward today, you know what I mean? I'm him, you know what I'm saying? Poppy's is one of the best lyricists to ever be from Houston. Poppy of the Grit Boys, ever. Like if it was 10 slots, we got 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really boil down to the lyrics, man, and that's not a cap, that's could take away the accolades, just really spitting that shit. My boys, them niggas always had it, bro, from day one.
Now,
they're way better than me. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. Well, one thing about this is like to follow up on my brother's question. What would Scooyunda tell Scooby?
Grow the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm glad you grew up, nigga. Because there was a lot of time, man. you know, I'll be in my own way. You feel me? I feel like you know, a lot of people may know, a lot of people say I calm down, right? You know, but it was one thing that Hawk always instilled into me. He's like, bro, don't never not tell people how you feel about some shit. If you don't like some shit, you know, and sometimes that might have burnt a bridge for me or made somebody step away. Like, man, that nigga might trip. You know, you never know. But, you know, it's always genuine. You know what I'm saying? It's an innocence to my relationship with anybody. Like, I treat everybody like they made a new me forever type shit. Like, not gonna put on this rapper front and this nice guy. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't like, and that's why I like you, Avery, because you know, I see the things you say, man, you don't really care about what nobody think about you. And I like that about you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir.
Not saying, bro, my dude too. You know who I want to be like.
I want to be like Devon too. I'm still wild.
Devon is more who I want to be like. But I
have to say, I know what you say. I
like how free he is, bro. Like,
yeah, he is definitely free.
I love that about him. Like, it drew me to him where it's like, man, you know, this, you know, it's not that. And I really ain't no friendly dude. Like, it's a lot of dudes be want to holler at me. Man, I need you to show me this shit. And I want, man, put me in the system or whatever. I'm like, it ain't no, we just grinded. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be thinking like, I'm like, dude, you gotta
plug you in.
You gotta put your shit, because, you know, one thing I don't want to do, I don't mind helping nobody. Like, I'm like the most generous person. Like, it's a lot of times people like, man, what you gonna charge? Man, send that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just get some merchandise. So I work a lot of people. I make a lot of people scratch their list. Like, I scratch off, you know, a section of people's list. You know, I go out my way to help people, you know, get that task done that they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, or as anything that I have going, but sometimes it's overwhelming. It's like, well, you know, yeah, I could help you, but do you got my new album? You want what I got, but are you supporting what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people want to do the things I'm doing. They want to be the places I be. They want me to put them with this and let them link me with my humble opinion. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that shit has to go both ways. So that's a lot of things I don't understand about with certain people. Like, Scooyunda knows the industry. Scooby had to learn the industry, had to not put his feelings in it. You know, I really can't be fake with niggas. Like, it's hard for me to deal with niggas, and then I really know it's really like, they ain't really fucking with me because I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really want that nigga to get, then, you know, who wants somebody to pass them? But I'm not that type of person. Like, I highlight Mr. Hood Figure. I highlight, you know, Alexander. Like, I highlighted Tally. You feel me? I saw her talent. You know what I'm saying? I paid her. I paid any producer that's on my shit, even if they ain't known type shit. Like, I highlight people's talent. You know what I mean? Before everybody on the bandwagon type shit. I see shit. So that's a thing that I like. I like doing that. That's the thing. I like that. You know what I mean? I be so into these artists' music, probably more than the people that supporting them. Like, dang, bro, if I could sign this person, if I can help this person, like even Cody Blake, right, from Loud Music, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I put him on that song. I didn't even know that many, right? I knew Derek, right? And I was just chopping it up with my boy D, you know, going back and forth, trying to get some game for D on the marketing, you know what I'm saying? I like D, me and him, you know, we locked in after a celebrity basketball game. So, you know, he was showing him, he hear Cody shit, all that. And I was like, damn, that little nigga jamming. So one day I'm on the timeline, I'm coming down, I see that nigga, I say, man, you know what? I was gonna get Brian Angel on it, but we didn't get locked in on it, right? So I'm like, okay. You notice I had like 4 singers on his album because I didn't want me doing all the hooks. So I wrote the hook and I sent it to him. I'm like, man, don't judge my singing. That nigga sent that shit back. I was like, oh, he got it. That boy hit that bitch right on the nail. You know what I'm saying? And so I like doing that shit, bro. So if my fan base is somebody like, who the fuck is this dude? This is a new artist, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's dope as fuck. Like, he's on some Chris Brown, Trey Songz type shit. You feel me? You know, And it was dope, bro. Like I like doing that, you know, having him part of my project. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, given like we talked about these legacy performances, I mean, I think Scarface just announced his farewell tour tomorrow. Like just out the blue. What can we expect? Every time we have talked to you, it is always it always stands out to me how much the Grip Boys have an appreciation for each other.
Right.
Really, when it comes down to it, do you guys ever plan on doing it again, or is it something that the other members are just like, we did it, I'm kind of done? Do you guys plan on putting out any more music together, or is this just gonna
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm doing a good business combination, so you will hear new songs from all three of us, like on the same song. I want to do EP, mixtape, whatever. You know, it's just really on them. We actually got a big interview coming up, 3D. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably already know I don't like to cross this y'all show, but
no, go ahead.
All good, brother.
yeah, and where the people gonna see it,
Yeah.
we gonna be on that big DH next week. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
sweet. He's a friend of the show.
Nah, I know that's my fam. You know
Yeah, he good
ain't wanna
people.
do that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And people don't, maybe he want to keep it, but he didn't want. It was. We've been trying to get it for the whole year. And sometimes it was two of us. Like, nah, I want all three of y'all, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people,
yeah.
they don't just want us, just two of us, or just me. I mean, if I'm doing me, they fuck with me, but because I've been on there before. But like, it'll be big for someone to have all three of us, bro. And that's what other platform, you know what I'm saying? We can sit down and really let them tell their side of it. And hopefully we could do one with y'all too, you know what I'm saying? I get them on the same room, man.
Absolutely. But yeah, Donnie Houston's a friend of the show. We love him. Like, it's not just, I'm just saying.
I know.
Yeah, he
and also he
good
delves so deep into, because he's establishing a timeline and a history that a lot of people, it was just floating. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh, this is floating in back rooms, and like certain people know, but not everybody. And then some stuff became rumor, and some stuff got bigger than what it was, and some stuff didn't get big at all. And so for him going and grabbing, like, I always like watching his stuff. And it's important when he says, yo, like, I want all the Grit Boys. Like, I've had you on the show, but I want to make sure I get everybody, so that this will be forever immortalized, and people are gonna know, like, yo, this was the Grit Boys.
Right. And then like, that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And even though it was so long ago, bro, if it was that easy to do the shit we done, it would have, like, we sold 200,000 mixtapes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous, yo.
CDs, bro. Yeah. And that has to be highlighted in Houston history. It is been. When they had the source with everybody on the cover, when you open it up and they ask who was after those guys on the cover, they mentioned us, Killer Carleon, GT Garza, people that's still active today. You know what I'm saying? So, they forecasted right. I think hadn't we stopped as a group, we would still be big as those artists that I just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Even though the name is always there. Somebody was like, man, I was at work the other day, man. It's old schools, one of my young homies. They brought up the Grit Boys. I'm like, damn, So I hear a lot. I probably get called the legend probably twice a week. You know what I'm saying? At least twice. You know what I mean?
How does that feel?
It's just like, I'm just, it feels good to be recognized. But I just be wanting to know, man, don't just get caught up in my affiliations. Call me a legend because I spit that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, it's good. It's not, never a thing where sometimes, you know, they try to make me feel old, even though I don't look old. But I appreciate it, man. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
seasoned.
Even though I don't really feel like, I'm just this thing that, people.
And that would be my question, because it's one of those things where the conversations, like in our last interview and that you and I have had, is
Mhm.
that you don't feel close to being done. It's almost like when you get those people that are like, like comedian. I think Ellen one time was like, "Yo, don't give me no lifetime achievement award, because when y'all do that, that's when y'all are like, all right, you're done."
Pushing me
She's
out
like,
the
"I'm
door.
not done yet, though." You know what I mean? And so, what is that like with the legendary status? It's like I'm a legend, but you're like, "Yo, I haven't even accomplished anything that I'm trying to accomplish yet. Like, it hasn't happened yet." Killer Mike got that Grammy straight out the gate with Outkast. And that could have been it. That could have been it. People were like, "Oh, you a Grammy winner. Like, you can sit down." He was like, "Nah,
He's rich.
I'm not even close to being done. Like, y'all don't even know what's about to happen. I don't even know what's about to happen, but more stuff is coming." So what is that like for you? Dealing with the legend, but also not being done.
Like I say, sometimes it's discouraging that people want to push me out the door. You know what I'm saying? Not for the right reasons. Like, I ain't even 40. You know what I'm saying? I'm close, but I ain't even 40. And if the 40-year-old still rapping and out here, you know what I'm saying, functioning and looking youthful, then I need to be out here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, Method Man Method Man rapping better than he. People give
That's
props
what
to
I'm
Jay
saying.
all the time, and they be like, "Yo, Jay
Right.
is an older rapper." I said, "Dog, Method Man is out rapping his old self every day. Like every day he rapping."
Skill, you it's always gonna enhance, bro. It's just like, the people that build houses, man, they probably start out building chairs and tables. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, that shit was good. Like, damn, that king chair that motherfucker made, that bitch can be used on the BET Awards. You know what I'm saying? He's so good. Then he builds a house, a regular house. You know what I'm saying? Then he get a contract to build a fucking mansion in goddamn River Oaks. It's just a progression, bro. Like, and that man might be 70 years old as an architect, and he started when he was 25. He didn't do nothing but get better. You know what I'm saying? And he's more valuable. Like, I'm more valuable now than I was. That's why I tell artists that be around me, I'm like, don't get comfortable because you around me to think we on the same level. You know what I'm saying? As far as, accomplishments, as, working hard, like, don't get comfortable. Like, if I know you, if we in the vicinity of each other, send me something to rap on. Don't wait until I say, "Man, I just signed me a label deal," and then everybody want to give me, try to tell niggas, you know what I'm saying? Because they do that. Like last year, like, they was waiting. And then now, nigga, I'm like, well, shit, I need that now. I was gonna do it then. You feel me? So it's just like, I don't care what nobody think. Like, the things that I'm doing, you gotta pay me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, compensation. Yeah, just like you say, like we always say, when it comes to people putting out material, buy the material, purchase the albums, buy the good music, buy the good business clothing line. Like, don't tell me you like my stuff. Just don't tell me. Actions,
bro. I'm all about emotion, bro. I don't go off of, bro. I get so many clicks on my clothing line website. You know what I'm saying? But I sell more in the DM. Feel me? Because a lot of people like to go look at shit. Like, they like to wait. Like, it could be, my biggest supporter could not be a person that's vocal enough to say it. They might say it when I see them, man. I'll be white, I want to, man, let me, or they'll hit me out the blue, let me get that. I'm like, damn, I ain't even know you was tapped in. So, and like I tell you, my homeboy, he wrote a whole post. He was like, bro, when you was in the Grit Boys, I knew y'all was dope. I knew, but I always felt like y'all niggas was feeling like y'all was the shit because of the affiliation. Now I really know why you are a stand-up guy and you carry yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, put me in any room, Avery, with them, man. Tell them put their album on, baby.
I need you. We'll help each other. I need you. I don't know everybody, but one thing you dropped, which I don't know if you realize, Melina, who directed your first video, right? She directs my favorite show of all time ever, Insecure. Yes, oh my God.
Hands down.
Crazy, bro. Melina, bro. She's a dope lady too.
Well, yeah.
You need to get on Insecure. Put me on.
Oh yeah, I need to get on that. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna get on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, bro. You even, you know what I'm saying, for a person, when like I might say somebody that's, you know, out of my element, I might tell them, man, who the fuck is that? You know what I mean? You knew what time it was. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Artists, how many artists from here can say they worked with her? You know what I'm saying? They had her in Cloverland, had her in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, had her out in these clubs trying to find models, like showing her around the city. Like, I had her in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? So, man, it's just dope that I crossed those people, like, you know, and if you see her and ask her about me, she's gonna give you the same as I'm giving her, you know what I mean? Flowers, you know what I mean? Like, it's love like that. Actually, her cousin was he bought our first Grit Boy pieces.
Sweet.
You know what I'm saying? This guy named Mo Millions. He actually created the first Grit Boys logo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no. Either Mike Frost did it and they redid the piece. So he, you know what I mean, bought our
probably Mike Frost did it. You know how Mike Frost.
Yeah, Mike Frost did our album, so
that
and made the piece. But anyway, this guy paid for our piece. He took us on a tour with Paul, you know what I'm saying? Paid us. It was dope, bro. Like, so that's how I got to meet her.
I was gonna say, take it full circle. Mike Frost, I think he's gonna be at that live Donnie Houston podcast.
He sure is.
Like,
yeah, I'm gonna be there.
I'm definitely. I signed up already. I'll see you up there.
And I'll see y'all Saturday, man. At the Loud.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody, come out to the Loud Press Junket. There's a lot of stuff that is starting to happen in the city, and we were talking about. Look, we addressed what happened with Astroworld last week, but there was one portion, and we like to talk about Houston's a rough city, like to make it. Like it just is. Like if you make it here, I know they'd be like, oh, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Like Houston can like you and still not cheer. And I said the perfect example of that was, I was like, all right. No, everybody in the city at that Astroworld thing was waiting for Drake to come out. And Drake came out and he performed. And at one point, on a song that everybody knew, he lifted the mic up to the crowd and nobody sang. Like nobody. And even Drake he went, oh man, whatever, do the next song. And I'm like, dog, y'all like this man. And y'all still, Houston is rough. I'm not gonna lie. It's not even, I said, I might be part of the reason why the crowd is rough. I'm not excitable. Like, I'd be sitting there looking, and people be like, you having a good time? This is like my favorite rapper. How come you ain't doing nothing? Dog, I'm here. Like, I bought the ticket. I'm here. But Houston's a rough town to get. So when you make it, when you build a legacy here, it means something. And I don't think a lot of rappers and a lot of people for here give themselves the credit or get the credit that they deserve. Because I was like, dog, they was rocking crowds in Houston. I don't think y'all understand how little Houston people want to dance or do anything. Like, they want to
hard, bro. And that's why, like, when I say things like, you know, we did the 200 and got a deal with Steve Rifkin trying to sign us shit. You know, it's like, you can't get out this, man, this man, you know, and ain't that many people been back in that direction, man. And, and even at the height of social media and everything, bro, like, you got to really be making some noise and putting in some groundwork. Like, I beat the streets up for years, bro. I don't see no rap vans riding around. Like, we had rap vehicles and shit. I don't see that no more. Like, I see some people try to put their poster up, but like, man, that was my day. Like today, I went around with QR codes, even at the height I'm at, with my covers, and boom. If I'm somewhere, I'll put it there. Just scan and jam my album. My thing is, I'm gonna make the money. Shit, it ain't even gotta be our rap, but I'm gonna make the money, right? So I just want people to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, that's my main goal, because once they hear it, they're gonna tell somebody and then they're gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna down on it. We're like, well, damn, I need to get a shirt from this boy. So that's the whole way I'm trying to set it up, man. You know, I'm making music for my grandkids and my daughter. My daughter might be one of the biggest artists in the world when she get older. You know what I'm saying? Watching her daddy, you know what I mean? So I do it for that. Like, I'm like embedded in this shit. I tried to walk away a couple times. Like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying?
Hold you back.
It's an addiction. Just being a musician, man. Like, it's not even about, I've been like, you know, known for so long. Like, you know, a lot of people, it's just crazy, bro. You know, when I go places and shit. Like, even when I was in Atlanta, man, I'm standing outside the hotel. Some dude walked by like, Scooyunda, Scooby. I flipped me the fuck out. You know, like R.I.P. Hawk. I've been fucking with this. He was like, I'm not even from here. I'm from St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what motivates me to keep going. People.
That's good. Keep going. Keep going. You got the reach. But before we go, I got to ask this one thing though. Last year, almost a year to the date, you did it was online concert because of what was going on last year, but you did an online show with a band. Right. What's going on with this album? You gonna recreate you gonna restore the feeling?
Because you got a live version.
I actually had been working on it, but the bass drummer, he caught COVID and he had a seizure, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I was trying to fill him in, but it just wasn't working with the guys I was working with. So now I'm trying to move on to a different situation. Or, you know, he said he got a new bass player, the guy I deal with, the drummer, shout out my boy Rayo. And so he's trying to add a couple elements. And then I also spoke with a band. I was trying to get the horns and everything. So really right now I'm just trying to get the budget for it. But I'm actually performing Saturday at the NFT showcase with Southwest Distribution. That's my next show. But,
that's what's up.
That's at
the
JP. Yeah, that's at the Wolves Den. Yeah, I actually released the deluxe on Southwest because he had been trying to get me over there. So
JP know what he doing.
Yeah. So I got that coming. And then when I went to Atlanta a couple weeks ago, I was supposed to shoot the video with Killer Mike that I got with the record with him, but he had a show Saturday and he wanted to do it Sunday, but I was flying out early. So that visual will be coming. You know what I'm saying? Like he already agreed to that. We're gonna put that in a few places, but I'm finna set me up some shows, man. I got a couple people trying to work with me on some shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say this on here, man. I done sent by 5 people at Classroom concerts, man. They always look. This is what they be like. Oh, we ain't doing them right now. Then I see like 3-4 concerts. I'm like, all right, man, all right.
So we're talking, and they haven't been doing it. They just started getting back out. Some of those ones were just pre-recorded. They were like recording it one-on-one. And I gotta be honest, even talking to them, I think COVID just had things so down bad. They were like, they don't, you know.
I told them I'll put some money up. I hit them with all that. I was like, I'll go, what we got to do? They left me on red, man. So tell them
I was
it's
just
love.
I was just about
to say, love, but they left me on red.
You got to talk to the classroom. You got to talk to Classroom concerts. We'll talk to them too and try to help ease things.
Our family, man.
But yeah, absolutely. Because some of that, and look, when it really
I thought somebody might have told him, man, don't fuck with that nigga, man.
No, sir.
Everybody, I feel like they'd be like us. People, we got jobs, like regular jobs. Like, so there have definitely been people where they'd be like, dog, you left me on red. I was like, man, I read it, and then somebody said something, and I put my phone down, and then life happened, and then I was like,
hey, but
that's why I hit you back.
Do you know what that does to Scooyunda ego?
Oh, yeah. No, I totally understand. And that's what I'm saying. There have been some artists we've had on the show that were like, Dog, I thought you was just dodging us. I was like, dodging? We was trying to get you, but man, it was like 18 things going on at the same time. And then he and I will be talking, and then one of us will mention a name, and we'll be like, oh, shoot.
I know how it is,
we supposed to text old buddy back like 3 weeks ago.
When you hit me up, and I was like, I hit you back, and I said, hey, I had not forgot.
Yeah.
This is going on. And you go, word, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, no, because me and my brother have talked about that. We got to get better at it. So that's why I hit you up, and I was like, no, like it's not no. I was like, yo, let me.
Yeah, I already knew. Bro.
I already knew you knew.
I had told Avery, I said, man, you ignored me on purpose, man.
It was all love. I was like, oh, he's joking.
I'm just like, bullshitting now, man. People can do whatever they want with their platforms, man.
Nah. We appreciate it. And like
it's all good, bro. It's all, but I would like to do that, bro. I just think that would display what I'm working on, because I have those type of songs to perform live with a band. Like I'm excited to perform my new songs. Like I don't know what else to tell them. Space, you know what I'm saying? Daybreak. I'm excited to perform that live. Like I hate that I gotta rap with the damn playing off the MP3 Saturday, but I'm gonna do it. It's still gonna be dope, but it's just so much better with backup singers and the band to kind of make it feel good, man. Like I just like, that's my favorite part of this whole thing, like performing the songs that I make. And a lot of people look at it like this. Oh man, I saw somebody say this, man. It's like y'all people like to perform songs that people don't know. But why is it cool? I mean, Travis Scott dropped the song right before he came out on the world. Everybody knew the song. Everybody was stepped into it. At the BET Awards, how many times have an artist performed a song you never heard, but then halfway through you know the hook?
Jay did H to the Izzo on the BET Awards. That's where it premiered.
That's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
it premiered.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really believe in, that's just their opinion. So I don't think by nobody, if they may not have heard about it halfway through something that I'm performing, you gonna like it, bro.
And you're right. When Travis Scott performed, I forget what the song was, but we were all like, I go, yo, this is hot. So you're right. People do that, and you can do it too. And that's why we really do appreciate you. Thank you for coming out or staying in, as we say. Once again, this has been Scooyunda. He's been with us. He's really been with us for a while. He's always supported us. And also, this is us again, In My Humble Opinion podcast. I'm Avery, like a very nice guy. That's my brother, Just Devon, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, 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 Just Devon. Humbly yours, In My Humble Opinion podcast. H-Town.
H-Town.